And looking for a superstar, Danny Ainge held on to his trade chips, and finally Kyrie Irving became available. And that came down when he joined that team. The trade was made. What do you think?
Well, that summer 2017, the Celtic fans were really restless. The Celtics had kept accumulating all these assets. And, oh, we're going to get Paul George. Nope. And it just kept falling short. People were mad. And then all of a sudden, Kyrie fell out of the sky. And I was stunned at the time that some people were questioning whether he could be the best player on a really good team or not. Because I always judge these guys by what they do in the finals. And in the finals, especially in 2017, it was just toe-to-toe. It was him and LeBron against Curry and KD and Clay or whoever else. That guy on a bigger stage raised his game every time. And I just couldn't believe that the Celtics got him for what they got. I thought it was an absurd trade.
So here's Miami's starting group. Down low, it's Johnson and Whiteside. Dragic and Waiters, they're the backcourt. And it's Richardson in at the 3, the small forward. Horford with a screen on Johnson. 5 on the clock. Here's Tatum. Here's Brown. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
Well, this is what they love seeing from Jaylen Brown, the aggressiveness down near the cup. This guy's attitude, tremendous.
There's the pick. Johnson dishes to Dragic. And Waiters kicks to Whiteside. Over Horford. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. And back on the topic of Kyrie Irving, Bill, when Kyrie's healthy, best handle in the NBA, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. Arguably the best ever. I think hearing the other players talk reverentially about his handle is really eye-opening because, you know, I get a chance to talk to a lot of these guys, and it's always interesting to me who they mention, the other players, like what young guys they mention or whose handle they admire, whose shot. And Kyrie's one of those guys that the other guys really appreciate, which I think matters.
And Bill, Al Horford lacks eye-popping numbers perhaps, but his contributions go well beyond the stat sheet.
Best teammate probably in the league. Best chemistry / glue guy. Does not care about getting shots or who gets the attention and that stuff. Can guard any position, can shoot threes, can stretch the floor. I think when you talk about where basketball is going, he is the perfect guy for this era of basketball. The stretch 5, basically, the guy who can stretch the floor on offense and shoot threes and guard big guys on the other end. I would love to see him in the finals. I think he's been in LeBron's shadow in the East basically for this whole decade, and I don't even know how many times he's lost to LeBron, maybe 100. Maybe he's lost maybe 5 series in the playoffs. It would be nice to see him get over the hump.
He never gives up on a play. I thought he just never will wave the white flag on any play.
No, and he's also a good example for why stats are overrated, and at some point they have their limit for what you can judge a player by. He's going to have 13 points and 8 rebounds and 3 assists, and he'll have 1.5 blocks, but he'll also make the biggest play of the game and is somebody that can not really have a good game but still make 2 of the biggest plays in the last 90 seconds.
I'll tell you, Jason Tatum, what a job by Danny Ainge to trade back for this guy and pick up an extra first-round pick.
Yeah, and to fleece your biggest rival of this next 10, 12 years,
exactly.
Philly. Tatum is so much better than I think anybody expected. Watching him last year and thinking like, this guy has a chance to be an all-star, and I could see him being the evolutionary Paul Pierce, being Paul Pierce 2.0. And by the end of the playoffs, I think every Boston fan, everybody who works for the Celtics, who plays for the Celtics, and a coach of the Celtics, we're like, that guy's untouchable. Like, unless it's for Giannis or Anthony Davis, we're hanging up. We're not interested. This guy, I think, is a future MVP candidate, and somebody that the last guy I remember being able to score as easily as he can score is Kevin Durant. I think he has the same potential. It is not inconceivable to me that he could get 30 points a game in one season soon.
And Bill, when you think about some of these young players, Brown and Tatum showing such grit and experience and calm, their body language is terrific.
Yeah, I think reps are underrated, and I think situations are underrated. And we see these high lottery picks go to teams that stink. And they get thrown into bad situations with coaches that aren't that good, and maybe they have a bad point guard, and they're just in a losing situation. They learn bad habits, all these things. What happened to Jaylen and what happened to Jason Tatum is almost unprecedented, where you have these high lottery picks joining great teams and learning how to play with really good players, learning from the best coach in the league, and then on top of it, getting these playoff reps. And by the end of the playoffs last year, Tatum was a completely different player. He really was. He was somebody that was just starting to scratch the surface of, wow, I can score against any player in the league, and I'm a franchise guy. And you could feel it changing.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
Bill, the way that super teams are being put together right now, good or bad for the league?
I'm confused. I have been watching this league since I was a kid. We've always had super teams. There's never been an era where we didn't. What do people think the Jordan era Bulls were, and what do they think the Shaq, Kobe Lakers were? And this is how the league is. I think what bothers people this time around specifically is that the Warriors won 73 games and they added Kevin Durant. Now, I get it. I get why it bothers people. On the other hand, your job as a franchise is to tilt the competitive advantage in any way you can toward your favor. They did a great job building their team. They did a great job building enough cap space for this year that everybody knew was coming, the summer of 2016. We knew the cap was going to jump. And they played it perfectly, and they got Kevin Durant out of it. He played it perfectly, too. He was on a team. He wasn't going to win the title in OKC. He wasn't going to win the title playing with Westbrook. Not to sound like a Durant apologist, but he wants to win a title and beat LeBron James. If you're going to do that, you're going to try to get on the best possible team you can.
Now a timeout called by Miami. And, Bill, we were discussing how teams are constructed in recent years. The changes in 2016 to cap space. How Kevin Durant landed with the Warriors.
I see the analogy that, it's like stacking a pickup game and just grabbing the best four guys and just beating people on a pickup court for 4 hours. But that's the thing. The league isn't a pickup game. The league, everyone operates by the same rules. And the Warriors...
Everybody had a shot at him.
Everyone had a shot. The Celtics had a shot. He didn't even want to interview with the Lakers. The Knicks had cap space. They didn't have a chance. The Wizards had cap space. He was from Maryland. Didn't want to go there. So, I think the Warriors should get a little more credit for how smart they were with everything.
And here are the Heat now, following the bucket by the Celtics. Winslow kicks to Johnson. Olynyk sets a screen for Johnson. Here's the floater. And Hayward with the block.
Well, this is where Gordon Hayward has turned himself into a dependable two-way player. How good is he at using his length to turn away these shots?
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Now, gentlemen, two shots. Two shots.
First free throw is good.
What a package Gordon Hayward brings to the table. Size, athleticism, high IQ for the game of basketball. You can count on his decision-making at both ends. I just love his game.
Hayward hits them both. The Heat trail by 13. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Wade left side, looking to end the run. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Don't you love the play call, Kev? How adept is Dwayne Wade at coming off the screen, and he knows when it's his time to work.
Now here is Horford, looking for his first basket still in this one. Now the pass to Morris. Hayward on the wing. Morris a screen. Shot clock at 6. The shot's good from Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
I don't think you can ask for anything more, Greg. What a wonderful job establishing a lead early in this one.
Here's Adebayo. It's tipped. Pass to Rozier. Hayward outside. Misses the three.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. There's the pick. Olynyk, a screen on Hayward. There's Winslow. Olynyk. They get it again. They shoot again, and it's good on the layup.
You know this, Kevin. Olynyk has a terrific motor. He's always been a high-energy guy who makes things happen.
No good on that one. So it's Gordon Hayward making things happen for Boston. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We'll return shortly.